on PulseX, so it's a fork of Cake, which is a fork of Uniswap v2. And I guess Cake v2 and a fork of Uniswap v2. So, on here you have pairs, right? You have two pairs, you put up liquidity equally on both sides. You can earn LP fees, you can earn INC on incentivized farms, all that stuff. With PHUX, it's a fork of Balancer from the Fiat guys, Buck and Dylan, all that. And you can have more than two pair, and you can have different ratios of this. It's pretty interesting, I think, and they kind of, there's a few different interesting things about it. So one is sort of gamifies it a little bit, because it makes me think of party token and trustless stake pools and stuff like that. You can have these, I guess, trustless LP pools, and you can name them. There's not like the name claim stuff or anything. It's different than that, but it just kind of gamifies it a little bit. You can have the Fiat Maxi, where you're putting 40%, 10% W Fiat and 50% Fiat. RH Maxi pool. Thank you again for naming the pool after me. I appreciate that. Shout out team for thinking about me. And you have 40% here. This is this, and then you got the Alex Maxi pool. You got the Maximus Maxi pool. Different quad pools, different Jeep pool, stable coins, and PHUX and Pulse. You got pulsing for Fiat. I like that name. That's cool. And then Poly wants a bootstrap. Oh, wow, that's cool. You got a Poly coin with bridge stables, Icosa and Hedron. All right. Anyways, pretty cool. And then, so there's a few different things. Again, if you should watch the coffee stream coming up later today if you want to go in depth. I think Buck's going to be on there, it sounds like. Buck and/or Dylan. And Dylan, by the way, Dylan and Sloth are going to be on the show tomorrow doing liquidity providing AMA number 3, which should be pretty good. The last two were pretty good. Those guys are pretty smart, so we're going to go through a lot of this stuff too. And yeah, I'll get Dylan to explain, ask him some good questions tomorrow too about it. But there's different ways you can earn. You can you're incentivized in different ways to provide it. You can earn the fees. You can also get voting power and extra earnings. There's like multipliers based on number of factors. Don't think you're going to get the 2.5x by getting the VE PHUX. This is up to, it could be much lower. It could be just over 1x. It could be 2x, depending on, I assume it's depending on your capital and how much you put into it, how much you lock it up for, all that stuff. But it's pretty interesting. So again, I'm sure we'll talk more about that tomorrow, and Coffee's going to talk more about it today, I'm sure. But you can claim rewards. You can see how much you're making. If you believe in this product, this ecosystem, the coins, or if you just believe in the different pools and the LP fees and okay with all that stuff and the permanent loss risk. Again, understand how this stuff works. Understand how participating in DEXs work, the different risks, the different rewards, and then make a decision. But this is another way that's new, that's just launched. It has some pretty interesting APRs coming out, and apparently there's ranges of APRs. So yeah, this is kind of a different deal. This is, I still love PulseX, and you can't beat a lot of these APRs with, if we look at the farms here, APRs, earn incentive token, it's hard to beat in a lot of ways. If you have other coins or you want to participate in this ecosystem and all that stuff, pretty interesting place to put your money, especially if you have coins that they're not incentivizing here, but they are here in some way. There's a little bit more wrap your head around. But I love the interface, and very interesting way of doing LP here, which I've just been discovering the last few days. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You can do, 20, 40%, different ratios instead of 50-50. Having multiple coins, naming the pools, incentivizing different pools. Yeah, it's pretty cool.